Hello friends, in this series of paragraph writing, today we'll see practically how to write a paragraph. I shall discuss the theory of writing a paragraph in brief, and then we'll see practically how to write a paragraph. I will write one paragraph for you, and the thought process going in my mind while writing this paragraph, I will speak aloud. Let's begin now. So friends, practical about how to write a paragraph. By writing a paragraph, we shall see how to write a paragraph. Assumption, you have some knowledge of the given topic. I'm assuming that any topic that we write about, you have some basic knowledge of that topic. Without any knowledge of a topic, one cannot write a paragraph. Second assumption is that you can form correct sentences of your own. You need skill in forming sentences. If you do not have vocabulary, if you do not have a right kind of sentence skill, sentence structure you cannot make, then it will not be possible for you to write a paragraph. I hope that you can make sentences of your own and you have some knowledge of the topic we are writing about. So the first thing, as I asserted in my introductory lecture, that first thing we need for writing a good paragraph is structure. We need to begin well. The paragraph should have good middle part and we should end in a positive and a proper way. Second thing is unity, oneness of purpose. Since paragraph is a small piece of writing, so we do not have much time, we do not have much space, so we will write hardly 7, 8, 9 or up to 15 sentences, though 15 is not the deadline, but usually we write 10 to 15 sentences in a paragraph. So oneness of purpose is very important. You should be focused, you should not move away, you should focus on that topic and write about it. And the third thing is coherence. So we need not collect or jumbled sentences and then those jumbled sentences in the form of paragraph. We need some coherence, we need some unity, we need the ideas connected with each other. The fourth thing required is functional use of connectives. Connectives, we have to interlink the sentences, the idea should be interlinked. I personally believe, and I will show you in this lecture, how the tail of one sentence invites the face or the front of other. The sentences should be very closely related. Where you end one sentence, the second sentence is automatically invited. We need to give right kind of connectives or linkers. Fifth point is content should be informative and interesting. Yes, it's very important. That's why my first assumption is that you should have some knowledge of the given topic. Without that knowledge, without that information, it will not be possible for us to write a good paragraph. And you should present the things in an interesting way, because nowadays you see people have so many diversions. You need to create the interest of the students to teach them. If you are not interesting, then students will not come to your class. Students will not attend your lecture. Students will come to your class only for marking their presence. Whatever you say, they will not have any interest in it. You need to deliver in an interesting way. Facts and figures you must remember. Anything that you write, you should have some latest facts and figures about it in your mind, so that the write-up can be interesting, the write-up can be informative. The sixth point is brevity and completeness. As I asserted in the beginning, it is a small piece, so we have to be very brief, but we have to be very brief as well as complete. Completeness and brevity both. This is contradictory, but this is true. Point number 7, presentation should be logical, interesting, unified. Nothing should appear out of place, and positive termination, anything that we write. I have uploaded one more lecture on paragraph on my YouTube last year in December 19. I uploaded, that was in Hindi. So there also I asserted that positive termination is very important, and there I said that even if we are writing about terrorism, even then we should end at a positive note by saying that hopefully terrorism is a great menace, is a big menace, and it will end very soon. Hopefully the world community is coming together. So positive termination, positive end on a positive note is very important. So today we shall write a paragraph on air pollution. I'm taking such topics which usually happen in exams of undergraduate students. This lecture I'm recording for students of BSc 1. That is why undergraduate students will find it interesting, and it can be of use to any student of any class. So air pollution is a very common topic for paragraph. So let's proceed further and see how we will write a paragraph on air pollution. So air pollution, if we are to write about, then first of all we should know what is air pollution. When we think about air pollution, what comes to our mind? Air pollution. What is air pollution? Air pollution is addition of unwanted gases, smoke, dust, and other things in air. When anything unwanted, unwelcomed, undesired is added to the air, that is called air pollution. It is an abstract term. Air not clean for breathing or air bad for health is considered polluted air. So air pollution means air which is polluted, which is not good for health. Let's move from this abstract to concrete idea. And concrete idea is that air pollution means smoke, dust, poisonous gases, and heat added in the air, added in the atmosphere. So what do we mean by air pollution? We mean gases, smoke, dust, or heat added to, or even noise added to air is called air pollution. Now we know what do we mean by air pollution. So the first question we should put to ourselves, any topic we are writing about, why this topic? Because in examination or in the classroom, topics are of which are of significance, those topics are discussed. So the first question we should put to ourselves is why air pollution? Why the issue of air pollution? Because air pollution is harmful, it is bad for health, and it is a modern phenomenon. In modern times, in recent times, air pollution has increased. That is why this air pollution is being discussed. Smoke, dust, gases are harmful, and we need to analyze the status of air pollution. What I'm doing here, as I told you in my last lecture about the types of paragraph, where we discussed expository and analytical and argumentative, etc. Many types of paragraphs we discussed there. So I'm trying to determine which type of paragraph I'm going to write on air pollution. So we can write expository paragraph where we will define what is air pollution, only defining something. If we write analytical paragraph, then air pollution, we will analyze its status. What is air pollution? What are its sources? What it is doing today? How it is affecting the health of this earth adversely? And what is the solution, etc. In a given space of 10-15 sentences, we shall discuss all these things. So after knowing that we are writing on air pollution, we have to determine which type of paragraph I will write. Then I can move on a right path. Otherwise, my tone, my way of writing, that will pull me in different directions. If I determine which type of paragraph I'm writing, then I will find one way and I will walk on that way only. Then the tone throughout the paragraph will remain the same. So expository means defining. We will surely define air pollution, and then we will analyze the situation of air pollution in the world. So definitely expository plus analytical type of paragraph. So we have determined that we will write a paragraph wherein we will first define air pollution, and then we will analyze the situation. We will analyze air pollution in various ways, and we will move on. Now what? My first question is, what is air pollution? This is the introductory sentence, and it is very important sentence. In this sentence, the tone is set, the whole rhythm is set here. That is why in crystal clear terms we will define anything we are writing about. So what is air pollution? Roughly, we have already discussed that it is addition of unwanted elements to air. So defining air pollution, we will say addition of unwanted gases or smoke or dust or other things in air is air pollution. So second thing is we will elaborate our idea. Now writing brief, we have to make the things crystal clear. We have to make our paragraph concrete. We have to make it concrete from converting it from abstract to concrete. In order to make the picture clearer, we need to bring in concrete pictures. That is why we will bring in some examples. And what are the examples? Poisonous gases, dust particles, and chemicals, and heat, and all these things added to the atmosphere, added to the air. They are examples of air pollution. Now we have defined, take for example, what is air pollution. Then we will definitely, since it's a hazard, we will think about what are the sources, where from it comes. This, when we put this question, we move forward, and we move forward in a logical way. What it is, where from it comes. If anything is a menace, then we will question where from it comes. So looking into what are the sources, looking into the second question, we will say what are its sources. And the sources is waste material of nuclear plants. Waste material of nuclear plants, that is adding unwanted things to the air. And smoke from factories and automobiles, definitely it's a big source of pollution that is being added to air. And recently the big question in the area surrounding NCR and our area, in especially Haryana, Punjab, and Delhi, burning of stubble by farmers. Burning of stubble by farmers around Diwali, or in at the augment of winter season, we have seen the haze in the sky, smoke in the sky, and which scientists say is very harmful. So we can add this issue. Perhaps you may not find this issue in your books, because books usually, what type of people write these books which are not standard books, what they do, they copy from other books, and what was written 50 years back, that same is being repeated in different terms and with a different vocabulary. So maybe you should keep on adding something new so that it becomes interesting. Burning of stubble is another source of air pollution. Now when we have defined what is air pollution, and we have determined that we are writing a paragraph which will be analytical in nature. Now, after definition, after concrete examples of air pollution and what are the sources of air pollution, and we are writing an analytical paragraph, so we will analyze the situation, and we will find out what kind of harm this air pollution is doing to this earth. So what harm pollution does? At two levels we will analyze it. We can always divide any issue which is of greater length at a smaller scale, and then we will analyze it at a larger scale. So looking at the smaller scale, what it does, actually it affects our atmosphere, it affects our vegetation, it affects animals, human beings. It creates it brings in allergies and respiratory disease. uh, if we have some facts and figures, that will be very good for us, because saying things in air will not do. We should have some data, we should have some figures and facts that air pollution is in reality, it is affecting us adversely. So if we have some data, we have read recent studies, so we can always add those facts and figures that will make our writing authentic, and that will make it interesting also. So if I talk about India, then it is a study of 2018, and in that study it has been written that in India 6% of children and 2% of adults out of 1.31 billion people, they are suffering from asthma or asthma. Asthma, both pronunciations are correct. Asthma as well as asthma. Asthma is standard pronunciation and asthma is acceptable pronunciation. 6% of children, मोदी जी अक्सर कहते हैं मेरे देश के 125 करोड़ देशवासियों, एक 131 करोड़ देशवासियों, 131 करोड़ में से 6% of the children and 2% of the adults. 6 or 2 may appear a small figure, but when you calculate 131 करोड़ में से जो बच्चे हैं उनका 6% and adults का 2%, it is a big data. So number of people suffering from asthma, it is a big data. So many people, they have been adversely affected by air pollution. So the third thing is, I talked about smaller scale and then at larger scale. At larger scale, what I mean by larger scale, I mean not only human beings. There are so many other animals and insects and birds and so many living beings on this planet who are surviving here. Are they affected by air pollution? Yes, that is the larger scale. How they are affected? Historical monuments are affected. You must have heard that Taj Mahal is being its color is being spoilt by the smoke of the industries. Insects and birds and health of the people, the whole atmosphere of this earth has been spoilt by air pollution. So all these things, they will come under the heading at larger scale. So now we have talked about what is the air pollution, what are its examples, what are the sources of air pollution, and what harm it does to us, what harm it does at smaller scale, what harm it does at larger scale. Now, what is the issue, what is the problem, what harm it does? Now, since we have little space, we have talked about introduction, we have talked about the middle part, we have elaborated enough about the issue, what we wanted to tell about the issue. Now we need to move toward conclusion. Before moving towards the terminating sentence, we need to write something positive about it. We should search for some solution. We should talk about the hope. What next we need to do, so that the reader or the readers, they may find it helpful in solving this problem. Putting a puzzle to them is not always right. Also suggesting a solution is another way. So is there any positive side of this pollution? Think about it. What do you say? Anybody? Say something. Is there anything positive about pollution? Yes, it is. What is this pollution? This pollution is a byproduct of what? Of industries, of factories. And these industries and factories, they have brought in the flow of money, flow of wealth. People enjoy life. People have made their life of a different style with the help of the money given by these factories and these industries. So creation of wealth and prosperity, this has been done by factories, by industries, by industrialization, and this pollution is a byproduct of that industrialization. So one positive thing is also there. But what is the solution? This is a very pertinent issue. What is the solution? What is the hope? Now, since we need wealth, we need prosperity and all this, but we have to find out some solution to this problem of air pollution. So minimize air pollution. This is the suggestion. You will laugh at it. Is this a solution? Yes. We have to think about how to minimize it. Had it been an essay, we would have discussed at length how to minimize air pollution. But since it's a paragraph, we will write one or two sentences about it. What can we do to minimize air pollution? What is the hope? Is there hope? Is the government doing anything? Are common people aware of it? Are they doing anything about it? So what is hope? The hope is that people, scientists, governments at national as well as international level, they have started thinking about, and they have started materializing these plans, started utilizing solar energy in houses and industries and institutions. Gradually, Indian government is bringing it to institutions. You must have heard these days that electronic cars and bikes will be supported. It was in news only day before yesterday that the government is encouraging electricity driven vehicles and automobiles rather than petrol or diesel driven bikes and cars. So government is thinking about it, people are thinking about it, people are going for solar energy more and more. Herein lies the hope. Hopefully in future air pollution will be decreased. Now this is an outline. What I have talked about is an outline. On this outline we can develop our paragraph, and we have introduced, then gave examples, and then divided in two parts at larger level and smaller level, and then facts and figures, and then what is positive side, and then what is the hope. And with this hope we can terminate our discussion. So I made some promises. I told you about some points how to write a paragraph. Let's retake that. In the beginning, I said that we will talk about what is air pollution, and we will give concrete examples of air pollution. I have given you in the form of gases and dust particles, etc. And then sources of air pollution we will talk about. I have talked about automobiles, and I have talked about various other sources of air pollution in the form of factories and industries, and the smoke from the agriculture area, and what harm it does. I have discussed at a smaller scale as well as larger scale. This is our plan, and facts and figure I have presented you in the form of 6% of the children and 2% of the adults, they suffer from asthma, which is created by the air pollution. And we have discussed, we have brought in one positive side of pollution, and we have talked about the solution. How can we solve this problem? Solution and hope, they are interconnected, and all these. So what was our plan in the beginning? We have stuck to that plan. We have developed our paragraph according to that plan. Let's move on now. I want you to learn in detail and practically how what goes in my mind while I write a paragraph. I have actually given a hard copy of the thought process that goes in my mind while I prepare how to write a paragraph. Actually, I haven't seen it from books or from any other source. What people say, it's my own method of writing a paragraph, and I'm discussing the same with you. So paragraph writing, a workshop. What is a workshop? An area where things are prepared, they are made prepared, and they are made ready for use. And one point I have given is a shop, how we sell that prepared ready material. So one thing I will take to workshop. There I will use the spanner and screwdriver, and then I will repair it and make it fit for use, and then I will send it to the shop. So first thing, what is air pollution is the introducer. So I have already defined what is air pollution, and this sentence I will form in the form of my first sentence. Air pollution means addition of unwanted gases, smoke, dust and other things in air. Now second thing is concrete example of air pollution. I'll say poisonous gases, dust particles and chemicals are added to air by various sources. So how these two sentences can be connected, because what is air pollution? What do I mean by air pollution? The second sentence does not begin with the words air pollution, but indirectly, just like an imperative sentence, where you is missing but you is there. Similarly, these two sentences are connected. The third sentence, source of air pollution. So I will develop more and will say waste material of nuclear plants, smoke emitted from factories and automobiles, burning of stubble by farmers are some of the major sources of air pollution. I don't claim that I have discussed all the sources. I say some of the major sources of air pollution I have talked about. So these are the first 3 points, and these 3 sentences I have formed. After this, we talked about what harm air pollution does. So I take this point to the workshop and add something more to it and make this sentence. This is the sentence: the polluted air harms our atmosphere, vegetation, animals and human beings. Look around, look around what you can include and what must be included. Actually, if we look at these things, then two broad categories are human beings and animals. The third thing is vegetation, which is also a living being if you look at it carefully. So vegetation, animals and human beings. And one broad category is atmosphere or environment, which is related to all these 3 categories. So polluted air harms our atmosphere. Then second thing is vegetation. Third thing is animals. Fourth thing is human beings. Why I used atmosphere first, not last? Because atmosphere is the biggest things among the 4. Then comes vegetation. Then comes animals. Then comes human beings. If I look at the number, then or the size, then I will go this way. Biggest first, smaller, smaller, and smallest. So now this is the fourth point. Point number 5, at smaller scale. So we talked about 2 categories, one smaller scale and at broader scale. When I bring this point in the workshop, what I think about what is smaller scale, what are the things, what are the areas affected by air pollution? Then pollutants of various types cause allergies, respiratory diseases like asthma and bronchitis in human beings. In human beings, air pollution does harm. What type of harm it does? It gives us disease. It makes us ill. Allergies, different types of allergies. You must have seen many people suffering from allergies. Every second, third person is suffering from allergies. And asthma and bronchitis, these are 2 very harmful fatal diseases. So smaller scale I talk about this, and if I bring larger scale, the point of larger scale in workshop, then so many things emerge. Now to add this, I already know that these things are there. In addition to this, many of our friend insects, so small they may be, but they are also very important. And insects and birds have disappeared or are on the verge of extinction. There are many birds and many insects and many animals. They cannot survive because our environment is polluted now. So we will talk about these insects and birds. You never know how useful these birds and animals are for us, because maybe that many researches have not been done on them, but some of them they have already gone to extinction, and some of them are on verge of extinction. Apart from this, air pollution contaminates atmosphere, damages buildings, historical monuments, and again I come back to human health, which I discussed in the point of smaller scale, circular kind of structure of these two sentences, beginning with human being, ending with human being. And at number 7, we will provide concrete facts to make our claim authentic. To make our claim authentic, facts and figures. So, what are the facts and figures? In the beginning, I brought in two assumptions, and those two assumptions were that you should have some knowledge of the topic. You should be able to form sentences of your own. So this is the knowledge. This is the knowledge. If you have knowledge, then only then you can tell us that 6% of the children and 2% of the adult out of this much of population, they are suffering from asthma. If you are not in the possession of knowledge, then you can never write this sentence. So this is the seventh sentence in our workshop, which adds to our knowledge, and we will move on now. So moving on, any positive side of our pollution, of air pollution, sorry. A positive side of air pollution. What is positive side? We talked about it. While technological and industrial developments have led to creation of wealth and prosperity, they have also caused a massive pollution to the environment. Here, two ideas, two contradictory things. One, advantage of these industrialization. Second, disadvantage, and the two being connected with the while technological and industrial developments, they have created wealth, no doubt, but they have added a lot of pollution to our environment. Solution to this problem. Now, problem is there, but what is the solution to this problem? The solution is that we need to find out better ways of minimizing air pollution. If we say that air pollution will come to zero, it's not possible. Moreover, what can we do? We can minimize it. If you say that we have to bring this to zero, or we have to end it, not possible, not possible. You have to choose proper vocabulary. What you want to say, do you really want to do that? If you say we have to finish it, or we have to end it, or we have to bring it to zero, no, we have to minimize it. We have to minimize air pollution so that our environment can be safe. For whom? Again the same list has been used, catalog has been used, keeping in mind the number plants, then animals, then human beings. So what is the hope? Any hope of solving the problem or the issue? As I told you in the theory part of writing a paragraph, that we will terminator. This terminator in the end, which will bring our paragraph to a close, should be positive. So I say, now man has started utilizing solar energy in houses and industries. This can reduce air pollution to a great extent. This is our hope. So, air pollution. Now these sentences, if I combine together with a little bit of changes, this paragraph can be formed. I have brought in, I have made a few changes only. I will tell you. Let's read this paragraph, and keep in mind whether you like it or not, whether this has become a good paragraph or not. I assure you that it has not been written anywhere in the books. I have written it by myself. And the air pollution means addition of unwanted gases, smoke, dust, and other things in air. Poisonous gases, dust particles, and chemicals are added to air by various sources. Waste material of nuclear plants, smoke emitted from factories and automobiles, and burning of stubble by farmers are some of the major sources of air pollution. The polluted air harms our atmosphere, vegetation, animals, and human beings. If you look at the sentences, then you will find that first sentence is that these things are added to air. Then next sentence, look at the first sentence. Air pollution means addition of unwanted gases, smoke, dust, and other things in air. Now I develop it further. What? Poisonous gases, dust particles, chemicals, other things. Here concrete form comes chemicals. Now that these things are added, naturally the question comes to mind, who adds? Waste material of nuclear plants add. Now if they add, what is wrong with it? Next sentence comes, wrong is that the polluted air harms our atmosphere, vegetation, animals, human beings. How they harm? The pollutants of various types cause allergies and respiratory disease like asthma and bronchitis. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is it true? Yes, it is true. Because in India, 6% of children and 2% of adults out of 1.31 billion population, they suffer from asthma. This is a fact. In addition to this, many of our friend insects, birds, they are uncountable. We haven't counted them because they are not equal to human beings. Nobody is going to count them. Uncounted. Insects, birds, they have disappeared or they are going to disappear. They are on the verge of extinction. I have used connectives. Apart from this, while in addition to this, moreover, apart from this air pollution, now see here, presenting this fact, 6% of children and 2% of adults out of 1.31 billion people, this sentence I have brought from third position to second position because allergies and respiratory disease we are talking about. In continuation of that, I need to present this idea, this fact. So I have in earlier slides, this sentence was after the sentence of in addition to this, many of our friends insects, etc. But these two sentences, since they are about one topic, I have brought it forward. So apart from this, atmosphere and buildings and historical monuments, etc., they are being damaged. And I have talked about technological and industrial developments have led to creation of wealth, etc. So there is no other change after this. So if you read the ending, this can reduce air pollution to a great extent. Read the last two sentences. You will find positive termination. Now man has started utilizing solar energy in houses and industries. Here we ended. I have added one more sentence. This can reduce air pollution to a great extent. So this is positive termination. So let's talk about the promises made and promises fulfilled. I told you that you need some knowledge, and I have proved that you need some knowledge of facts and figures, not knowledge about the topic. You need to have a skill of writing your own sentences, then it will be possible. So we have given this paragraph a good structure, good beginning by defining air pollution, middle and positive termination, and we haven't talked about anything except air pollution in this paragraph. That is why oneness of purpose, I say, is important, and we have abided by this rule here. And in third point, coherence, sentences are interconnected and logically follow each other. Functional use of connective I have used apart from this, moreover, while, in addition to this, etc. These are the connectives. And content is informative and interesting, and we cover whole of the universe, animals and plants and human beings and insects and birds and everybody, how they are being affected by air pollution. And it is brief. Just we have written 10 sentences. You may count them. I have counted them. They are brief, and information is almost complete, provided what type of space we have for writing a paragraph. Presentation is logical. I believe it. You find it interesting and it is unified, and positive termination, no doubt about that. Thank you very much for listening to this and for learning. I hope you have enjoyed this session of paragraph writing. Thank you very much for watching this video. Subscribe my channel. Stay healthy. Keep on learning. Thank you very much.